It's really nice to see everybody. I do appreciate it always takes some courage to come on a retreat. Well, for some people, but just for me, it always did. I expect for most people it takes, probably not for Tim.
He love coming.
He's a glutton for punishment. And I just wanted to say something about that because we do make a real effort to be here, time and money, and yet I'm only going to be very brief about this, but I think it's worth saying. But then when we get here, to our great disappointment, we discover that we brought ourselves with us. And what happens is that we have expectations, and very often they're not fulfilled, and we find ourselves on the first day anyway in an unusual place. The mind's really restless because it actually doesn't want to be here. We might get asked to do a job in Samu that we don't want to do. We might be sitting next to somebody we don't really like much, or is fidgety. So we have all kinds of things going on.
People sneezing.
And as well, even more, we sit and nothing happens. We don't have any great insights or any great breakthroughs, and we might even be bored. And what happens is that we slip, or can happen, is we slip into the same frame of mind, which is the frame of mind that causes us to feel discomfort or suffer or whatever. And it's the frame of mind that we come here to kind of deal with. And yet, as I say, we bring ourselves with us, so we bring the same frame of mind, and so we start to look around for causes and reasons why it isn't happening. We're not feeling happy to be here or whatever. As I say, this is not for everybody, but I'm sure everybody's familiar with some of these feelings anyway, particularly on the way here. But the whole essence of the retreat, in a way, is that we've all made this decision to voluntarily restrict ourselves, to allow ourselves to really look at what it is that causes us to not feel at ease with our lives. And the whole essence or the contradiction, if you like, of Zen is that is this battle between impermanence and our resistance to it and the reality of it. And normally when we face this, my sense is that what we most do is we look outside, what's going on, why am I feeling this way, what out there is causing me to feel like this. And what the retreat does is it gives us a chance to, as the Buddha said, turn our view upside down and look in. And what is it in me? What is it at the very root of me that's causing me to feel this discomfort or discontent, or however you want to phrase it? What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it right down there at the bottom that's the source of this ongoing struggle? And it's hard to dig out. And that's yeah. So, can I encourage you on the retreat, even though we're on Tuesday, aren't we? Usually by Wednesday, the brain box, the restless monkey is slowed down a little, and we start to feel a bit easier about being here, and we start to recognise why we are here. So, can I encourage you to just be on the cushion, to take the chance, to just be present to the discomfort or the joy or the bliss or whatever's coming up, just be present to it and not looking outside for a solution to whatever it is you're feeling. So we get that chance here, and we don't normally get it at home. So on that basis, I wanted to ask you, just to start the talk rolling, was that we talk about beginner's mind in Zen, and I wonder I mean, many of you have been seasoned practitioners now. There are many. We've literally got hundreds of years of practice in this room. Hundreds of years. Really, we have. And there are people, many sitting more than 30 years, certainly a lot more than 20. And I wonder whether anybody can remember what it was that first brought them to practice. Why did you even get involved in this tradition? What happened? What drove you to come to some place that requires you to be silent and put away all your books and ish?
A friend.
A friend. Okay. Okay. But why were you persuaded by the friend? I mean, you didn't just think, oh yeah, that's a good idea because he or she told me to, did you?
Well, they said, yes, do come and visit, and as it happens, there's a session in our house.
Okay, so it was serendipity for you?
It was serendipity.
Yeah, okay. Anybody, everyone's just doing a bit meteor-ish, you know. Yeah. So go on.
For me, it was a mixture of unhappiness and romanticism.
Okay, fantastic, yeah. Good.
I think for me it was the feeling of nothing seemed to be really real.
Okay.
And looking for something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Exactly that. It was that to find a balance between the moments that I was experiencing that don't and still don't really seem as real as others, and actually balancing that with, being slapped and being present and actually being Tim.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you. Alistair?
I was always a seeker, and then someone lent me a book by Christmas Humphreys, and he wrote that this Zen thing that seemed pretty cool was a direct assault on the citadel of truth. And I thought, I gotta have me some of that.
Right. Yeah, but more interestingly is, why were you a seeker?
I don't know, it's in my bones. I've always, since young,
Seeking for what though?
different things at different times, I think, but just always seeking, never satisfied.
Okay. John?
Maintaining what passes as sanity.
Maintaining?
What passes as sanity.
Okay. Thank you.
I really envy all you because you have such clear answers. I have no idea.
You have no
I
idea?
have no idea why I came. I have no idea why I've come back from this. Completely nothing. I just do.
Now that is true.
That's all I can say. And the reasons shift, throughout my life. When I started coming, I had I had my reasons, and now the reasons are completely different, but I still really don't know.
You still don't know. Well, that's it. As Clive said, there's a romanticism in this, and don't know mind is like, yeah, that's the essence of the practice. So, Emma.
The more I sit, the more I think it was a decision that was made before I was born.
Say again.
The more I sit, the more I have the sense it was a decision that was made before I was born.
Ah.
Despite me being a rational, scientific type, so I'm not really happy with that. But
Okay. So does that imply that you believe in rebirth then?
well, I didn't.
You're coming round to it, are you?
It seems to be dragged round to me.
I hope you weren't an Egyptian princess. Thank you. Anyone else? Why did you come?
I just thought I was missing something. That was really what it was. Something that was right under my nose I wasn't seeing.
And have you discovered you were?
Yeah, I was actually. I was missing something.
Okay. Thank you.
I think for me, just an awkwardness, feeling awkward whenever I have to communicate, and so to engage in a practice where you don't practice at all.
No, I think that's great. I mean, one of the wonderful things about the practice, you don't have to bring your credentials, do you? You don't have to present your credentials. In fact, your credentials are evident just by the way you are. I don't mean any judgment in that. I mean just what we're like as human beings is really clear. Ish, have you a more intense reason now?
I saw Bill's hand up.
Pardon?
I saw Bill's hand up and I was afraid you were going to go on with it.
Oh. Ish, Bill, did you have your hand up?
It looked as though you were going to say something.
So this is a whole new Ish. This is hands up by proxy now. This is a whole new way of going. Yeah. Anybody would put their hands up for somebody else? Volunteer them if you like. Okay. Well, just to move on from that, if they were the reasons you did come, why have you come now? Have they changed?
Obstinacy, I think, on my part.
Obstinacy. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I just started like a year ago, no, but I already feel I'm scared of not coming back. As if then, I don't know, then am I back in my life with no, what am I going to do?
Yeah. That's interesting, isn't it? Sorry, I just wanted to say something to me, because it's a bit like the whole difficulty, that we're scared of being alive and we're scared of dying. We don't, we're on the rack between both. Yeah. Sorry, Tim, what were you going to say?
For me, I definitely function better as a human being with doing this.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else? Keith?
Yeah, I dipped my toe in the water, I didn't just go in, go till, but gradually I realised there was something that could suit me.
Okay. And that was the original reason you...
The original reason was, I think, what we said before about you're fratting together and trying to die, that's it all about, and then you've got to die, sort of thing, all those sort of things, and that sense of going.
Thank you. And John, why have you come to it?
The reason why I came to this session is because I never really have time for me, and it was about time I gave myself some time.
Okay. That's an interesting paradox. I like it, that we come to Zen for me time, when the whole point of it is to get rid of
the self.
Expunge the me. Maybe it's like homeopathic treatment. You get so sick of the me, you think, oh.
Well, can I say something?
Yes, sure.
Please. Because I was going to say that I was inspired by Erich Fromm, The Art of Loving, and I felt I need to, he says that you have to love yourself before you can love somebody else. Yeah. And I was not very happy about how things were going at that time when I was young. And just last night I thought, I'm still there. I'm still, obviously a lot have changed, but I'm still...
When you say I'm still there, you mean?
I'm still in the process of accepting myself.
Okay. Forgive me, I just got these hearing aid batteries whistle when they're going flat, so I've got whistling going on, so I'm just going to change the battery. So I had a look at when I first started Zen practice. I assiduously kept notes. I've got like 5 years of beginner's notes, and I had a look at them recently, and what I discovered was that nothing's changed. No, really, I mean it. The same stuff comes up, the same thing. But what has fortunately changed, which makes life a bit easier, is that my attitude to what comes up has changed. And I think that's the most that we can. A lot that we can hope for anyway, that our view of it, how we respond to it.
And we realize it faster. I mean, when things come up, we see it faster than before.
Before.
I mean, before it took me a few years to realize that.
Yeah.
And now it's sort of more.
Yeah, it's become so familiar, isn't it? Yeah.
Tim?
I should have put you at the back.
Too late now. I think giving yourself the gift of accepting who you are is really important. It's, for me, the
No, hang on,
most...
Tim. Make this personally.
No, that's what I meant. For me, it was the most it was the most important gift.
Okay.
Absolutely, I do.
So this is a gift to yourself?
Yeah,
here.
of me, as I am.
It's very selfish acting.
I know. And I come here for me as well.
Okay.
I like the way it gives you, gives me more possibility that I didn't see before. I didn't have that awareness to see that there are more things out there or within myself than I ever expected.
Isn't that wonderful? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I wanted to kind of stay with a similar thing, and you're all very familiar with this koan, and I was just thinking how to, Swegan, everyday Master Swegan used to call to himself Master. We could, I was thinking of a way to make it gender free, so we could, but we could give him female. We could say Mistress Swegan. He used to call himself Mistress, but I can't think of a way to switch it now. I'll stay with Master Swegan. So he used to call himself Master, and he would answer, yes. Again he would call, are you thoroughly awake? Thoroughly awake, he would answer. Yes, yes, don't be deceived by others any day or any time. And the reply was, no, no. Now, you're all familiar, I know, with this koan, but who is he calling to, and who is replying? I mean, what part of him was making the call, and which part was making the reply? Were there two Swegans, or was Swegan a split personality? Or who was making the call and who was making the response?
Can I say as Swegan?
Yeah.
I don't think there were two. I think there were multiple.
Multiple Swegan.
Because he's sort of warning himself not to be deceived by the voices.
But who was doing the warning and who was the multiple personality? Was it part of the multiple personality another part that was doing the warning? Was there like a warning sub-personality type? Yeah?
I don't know.
Ah, okay.
Not sure.
Okay. So, I mean, for me, it seems to be that there are two Master Swegans going on here.
For me, it seems to me that my everyday voice, which says something, and then correct itself and say, "Oh, this is stupid."
Okay. Yeah. So what is that voice? That voice.
Question when it happens, normally, the time when I do, but normally on a day-to-day basis when that happens, I don't. And when it's a voice which is got different sides to it, and then I question it then. So for me, it's that, which I don't name, and I'm not bothered about naming.
Okay.
But if I look deeply, then I could sort of say, what the hell is that? Sometimes, why bother?
Thank you.
I talk to myself all the time. I don't know if I'm alone.
Hang on. Who's the I that talks to the self?
Well, a bit like what Keith was saying, one part is going on about the same old stuff, and the other part is telling me to look and see that's rubbish.
Okay, so let's explore this a bit more. So I'm assuming I'm not wrong that for most of us here, a lot of what goes on a lot of the time is that the mind's chattering. It's just chattering away. It's doing its thing, it's making judgments, it's feeling discomfort, it's feeling some enjoyment or whatever, but it doesn't have a rest, does it? Not very often. It keeps going. And that voice isn't the voice I imagine that would bring you to Sesshin. Or if it was that voice, it would be well, it wouldn't be... No, I don't think that voice is the voice that brought you to Sesshin. That chattering mind voice, is that right? Is that or is it? Or what did bring you to Sesshin? What mind did bring you to Sesshin then?
This mind.
Which
my
mind?
mind.
What's my mind?
Mind.
Which one?
One mind.
Swegan's or...
That's my mind. Tim's
the chattering mind or another mind?
There's only one mind. Tim's mind. For Tim here.
Okay.
One.
Okay.
No, I think sometimes it is the chattering mind that brings me. It's a sort of got to get on with it, got to do the next thing, got to go to Sesshin.
Oh, okay, so from that perspective...
It's not thinking really, it's just getting things done.
Yeah, so it's kind of on its ordinary automatic...
Doing a list.
Yeah.
Can I just add? In a way, it is that mind, the same mind that raises this arm, that brings me here. But the first couple of days, all those multiple voices are there.
Yeah.
That he warns about.
Okay. But I want to know who is taking the view on the mind that's chattering? What is taking the view?
I think it's Buddha's mind.
Buddha's mind?
Yeah, the Buddha in us.
Or the Buddha in us?
Yes.
And you think that has a reality, yeah?
Absolutely.
Okay.
For me, I'm thinking that in a sense the mind that tells me to come here is the one that is mediating between all these kind of drives, desires, things and reality. But then it's questioning, what is this reality? How do you assess that reality? So I'm so it's that mind that is between me and the world.
Okay.
Somehow.
Somehow, yeah. Somehow, yeah. But it seems that Swegan, who was, he was called Master Swegan, was having a conversation. I mean, it's clear, he says, are you awake? And something replies, thoroughly awake. And then somebody says, don't be deceived by others, to which the reply is, no, I won't. Swegan seems to feel that there's something separate from this ordinary everyday mind. Now, if he doesn't keep an eye on it, will go astray. Will be deceived by others. Who are the others? Who are the others in this column? Who are the others? Who will he be deceived by? Is it you or me? Or Joe Bloggs down the road? Or
all his other voices.
or his other voices. Yeah, so is it the external world that will deceive him, or is it his own voices?
Well, in the end it's his own voices.
In the end it's his own voices, yeah, sure. I agree. So, let's assume that there is should we say observer? I don't know what phrase to use instead of master or mistress or observer. There is some part of us that's observing what's going on and saying, actually, this isn't very satisfactory. And then there's the other part of you that's impatient with this part, because it's standing in the way of what you'd really like to be doing, etc., etc. So, if you take it further, then does that imply that there's a subject-object? That there's an objective observer watching you as a subject? Emma? Sorry, these are really interesting questions. I mean, the bottom line questions. But yeah, go on, Emma.
For me, it's not each of those. There are different voices, but each of them are also not fixed. So, like Miranda said, sometimes there's the dodgier voices who are quite happy for you to go on retreat because you'll see your friends and be busy and you'll eat nice food.
Yeah.
And then, and they'll join up with the way-seeking mind, which you're also on the same page, and then the part of yourself that hates yourself and actually wants you to have a week of knee pain might join in as well. There's not one observer, there's all the different parts of the voices some of them are in control and observing now, but they might not be the same ones for me that are in 5 minutes or a week. So it's like there's a beach and you take a scoop of sand, and there are two voices, there's a me, and they all formed out of different desires and feelings and beliefs.
Thank you. I think that's a pretty good picture of where we're all at with it. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, but for me there's orders of observation, and it never ends, does it? Because the observer watches the mind, and then there's something that watches the observer, and something watches the observer, and in the end that ends up with somewhere where there is no language, there is no voice, there just is something.
It's just something.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But where that is and what that is, that's living.
Okay. Thank you. Chris?
It seems to me that these voices, we make them into some sort of self, we give them a name.
Yeah.
Which is, it just gives them a reality which they don't.
Yeah.
That it's making a story out of it, making a narrative out of it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that's going on all the time. It's not it just arises and goes with it.
Yeah. So it's the chattering voice, and that voice that has all the likes, dislikes, discriminations, which the Buddha says is a delusion. Yeah. He says it's just a set of energies. What do they call them? The 5 skandhas? Just a set of energies that are being generated, and is the observer of this process. Is that something permanent? Does that have any qualities of its own?
For me, it's just manipulative.
It's manipulative. What's it when you say it?
This voice, or this changing voice, or the thing that wants attention and wants focus and wants some validation or something.
So that feels like a manipulative. And who is it manipulating?
Maybe the other voices. I don't know.
Or other people?
Yeah.
Or situations? Yeah.
I can construct or co-opt extra voices. So I realised the other day that for a long time I've been keeping a dead relative alive in my head, and every time my own stories aren't enough to beat myself up, I'll hear them in her voice. And that's when I finally stopped. And it's almost like there's almost a limitless amount of false ideas and voices that I can make up to beat myself up if I want to.
Sure.
But below that there's something that's kind of wiser and more real.
Yeah. So what I'm coming to is that, and comes back to being present and not looking to the world or outside for solutions to what's going on for you, is whatever it is, can you maintain the active awareness that's aware of this inner process that's constantly going on? Can you be aware of it? And can that awareness help you not get caught up and be identified with it? And for me, the difference between a Zen practice or a spiritual tradition and being in the world is that being in a spiritual tradition, we use this awareness to help us disidentify from all the conditioning, all the routine, grooved ways and stuck ways we do things, and the way we actually imprison ourselves. We create boundaries that actually don't exist. They exist only as the 5 skandhas, and they're impermanent. They're just like a swirling bunch of energy. They're swirling around all the time. They're all going all the time, and in Zen parlance, they're empty. So a huge amount of your life is spent being present to a whole load of swirling energy that actually doesn't have any substance, really. I mean, it's a lot about the future. You worry about the future, what's going to happen. You worry about things you've done in the past. How many things have you worried about in the past that haven't come to fruition in the present? I mean, how much time have you given to that?
Such a waste of time and energy.
Endless. Endless. So I just finished, John, just a moment, yeah. And the same for the future. How much time this week will you give to thinking about what's going to happen down the line? And all I'm suggesting to you is that during this week, that your frame of reference is the observer watching all this stuff going on, and see how you feel about it. I mean, if you're kind to yourself, you can laugh. It's so ridiculous. I mean, if you're really kind to yourself, it's just crap going on. No. Sorry, Jazz.
Another word for it.
Yeah.
Or schizophrenia.
Schizophrenia.
And we're all mildly schizophrenic, so I can see, we're suffering from mental health problems. And we're just telling people with real mental health problems how to sort of think and behave.
Yeah.
And yet, we're not telling ourselves the same story. I think it is schizophrenia myself. I think we're all subject to it.
Well, yeah, it's got to be, because there's only one you.
Yeah.
Yeah. John, what were you going to say?
I think it may be a mistake to start to view these voices as in any sense bad.
They're not bad.
Because there is no good and bad.
No.
And I think without them, there will be nothing to resolve. I think they're actually helping us to resolve the issues and move forward. So they're actually good in that sense.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and we do say samsara is nirvana, and nirvana is samsara. We can really, and I agree with it, they're not bad, and which is why I said if you're kind to yourself, obviously be kind to yourself. View whatever arises if you're viewing it from the observer perspective, you can start to feel compassion for yourself, because you can see the self having a lot of trouble and suffering, and you can see that actually a lot of the time it doesn't need to.
But the thing is, for me, is that that's not an easy process.
No, it's not easy at all.
And it's hard work.
Yeah.
And for me, I forget.
Yeah.
I'm always forgetting, and I have to go back again and keep going back. And it seems to be endless.
Karen, thanks for pointing that out. It's absolutely true. It's not easy. It requires your focus and your awareness. And in other traditions they call work. Gurdjieff would call this work. This business of staying present, staying aware. It is like work, and you do forget. And all I'm suggesting is that you bring yourself back to that place when you remember. And when you forget, it's okay. You've gone AWOL for a while, and you come back and you keep an eye on it. And
can I ask you something?
Sure, yeah, please.
Because I just what you're saying brought to my mind. I read just a passage in a Joko Beck book about life being like the Sisyphus myth. You sort of roll up the stone and you wake up, and then it's that's the way it feels. I mean, it's not a big thing, but how you roll that stone up? Can you? I can think. Can you do it sort of while dancing?
Wonderful, yeah.
Or can
while painting a picture?
Do you have to do it while suffering?
Yeah.
You see what I mean? And I
agree.
I don't know yet, but
you can put your dancing clothes on. You can put your dancing clothes on.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice metaphor.
You're still rolling this fucking stone. So why not enjoy it?
Or you can even paint the stone.
Or you can do it gently, or you can
gently,
do it,
exactly.
Maybe giving yourself more options.
Yeah, you can choose. Is that it? Can you?
Yeah,
I think so.
I think so.
Pay someone else to do it.
And I thought you were a socialist.
I've got a whole line of pictures on my wall at home, which are all the things you can do with a boulder.
Yeah.
You can be crushed by it.
Yeah.
Or you can put up a tarpaulin and shelter under it. Or you can lean on it. All those things. Or you can paint a face. Yeah.
And you could hide.
You can hide. You can hide as well. Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah.
I'd just been driving up here this morning for 4 hours, and My car tells me sometimes incorrectly when the tyres are not in the right pressure. And I remember going around and testing, that's wrong, they're just fine. And then I struggled to put the direction to Crosby into my sat-nav. And it's almost as if we're kind of, not to stretch the analogy too far, but we're this kind of combination of all this technology that all connects all the wheels and everything else. And maybe there is part of us that sort of, we set that sat-nav, I don't know what, you could call it, whatever you want to call it, it's nameless, that draws us. But at the same time, I'm always checking, have I got the right direction? Am I really going to end up in Crosby? Because, it could be another cult. It could be a crazy thing. I've got to keep my sense of direction. I can't rely on those things entirely. I have to take responsibility for where I'm going, left and right. But it's like all those bits, we call it a car, but they're just bits all stuck together.
Well, it's the anxiety, isn't it? I mean, it's that basic anxiety that we all carry around with us all the time, like a package we're scared to put down. Because if we put the anxiety down, we're worried that if we're not anxious about something, we'll get caught by it. So we have to keep remembering, I need to be anxious about this.
But when we get here, we realise there is no point to all this.
No, that's right. Sorry, Emma.
It kind of relates with what Clive was saying with his wheel pressure detector, that my observer is not separate from me, and therefore my observer is not entirely reliable.
Okay.
I will think that I'm sitting there, and then 3 weeks in, 3 days in, I realise that I'm angry and I haven't noticed, or I've got parent issues and I haven't noticed, or, there was something that while I've been sitting here observing, I've completely missed.
Yeah.
So,
well, you just said then, and really, when you said parents' issues, that's a perfect example of swirling energy, isn't it? Are your parents alive?
One of them.
One of them. Do you live near her? No. No. Is she part of your life?
No.
Okay. Well, why are you worried about them? I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to, but we all do it, we all worry about stuff. Why, Sorry, Chris.
Well, I was going to say, surely we're not all like this all the time,
I don't know, tell me.
I believe sometimes when we're doing something, then we drop ourselves when we get engaged in something.
Exactly, yeah, we drop ourselves. Yeah. So it's this identified swirling of energy that we have to, dump now and again to allow ourselves to function freely. And sorry, I'm jumping in, you go.
No, so that's right. I'm just saying crazy, because I think we focus on this other part, this the anguish and the swirling around. But I can't be alone in experiencing the other bit, or not experiencing it. That's more accurate. Just doing it at some point.
It's true. I mean, in my pragmatic experience of retreat, and there's always been the case, and I think for a lot of us, is that when we do allow the mind to settle, and when we do get to Friday in the week, if we last it, and we're really settled, that what we find, and don't ask me why or to what to call it, is that we find some kind of wisdom or creativity that wants to manifest itself. It's like we want to get back out in the world again and be doing stuff because we feel fresh, we've got new ideas, we feel less stuck. So there is a part of us that definitely benefits from kind of, slowing down that constant chatter. And this is, so I don't know what time it is. I just want to move on quickly because I wanted to go to the next thing, which I talked about in Liverpool and which I really, really like, is in the Heart Sutra. At the end of the Heart Sutra, we say, Gate Gate, Paragate, Parasamgate, Bodhisvaha. Which means, and this is, I'm not going off on a sidetrack, this is to do with what we're talking about. And it means gone, gone, gone beyond, gone completely beyond. It's basically saying gone beyond. Now, my question to you is, where's beyond? And where have you gone? It's saying in the gone beyond. So where is there to go and where is this beyond?
Can I demonstrate something with Tony? Ready? That was it. Did you see what he did? I went to do this thing for his arm across. That's going beyond. So if I do that, that was it. See? That's it. It's where you're not present, you just respond.
Okay.
So self has gone.
Okay, it's not my understanding of it, but it's a fair point. Yeah. Well, certainly, gone beyond is when. But I've got a more pragmatic sense of it. You two guys want to spar? I've got a more pragmatic.
I mean, could I
interrupt? Sure, certainly.
Yeah. You asked the question.
We'll have a break from same if you do. Sorry, go on.
The rubbish has gone.
Yeah, the rubbish is gone.
Cleared out the way.
Yeah.
So that's what I think of.
Great. And if the rubbish is cleared out of the way, how does that manifest in your life?
More peaceful.
More peaceful, yeah. But also, does the rubbish, that's the conditioning, the grooved patterns, do they limit you in any way?
Oh goodness, yes.
So do they limit your freedom?
Yes, so you feel more able to be more flexible.
Yeah, and that's thank you. So that's by going beyond, what I mean is, can you get outside of your comfort zone? Can you drop the limitations that you impose on yourself and move to somewhere where, which ties in with Tim, where the demands and conditioning of the self are less powerful? Can you do that? Because that, for me, that's what this practice finally is about. Can you do that? Can you go beyond? Can you constantly go beyond?
Could I interrupt?
Pardon?
Could I interrupt? Just to make a quick comment. Isn't this a description of nirvana?
Oh. How do you know that?
It seems right. It seems that if the voices have gone, it's an end to the voices, and that isn't that identifiable with nirvana, especially nirvana.
For you then, that describes something that you would call nirvana, yeah? Or is this a statement of fact? Just curious.
It's a possible insight.
Okay, of your own.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So it's a possible insight of nirvana. Yeah, I'll agree with that. That's okay.
Surely it's a transformation in one's attitude to the rubbish. That the rubbish is nirvana.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that's. I remember very clearly that Tibetans talk about the gold being buried in the dirt, and yet, but once you pass that, the dirt is also the gold. Yeah, there's no separation between the gold and the dirt. There's no separation between samsara and nirvana. And I'm not going to have time, but I really wanted to get into that, to this idea that there's some enlightened place which is free of conditions. There isn't such a place that's free of conditions. There isn't. Not that I've found one anyway. I don't. We're all subject to conditions, and we're all subject to impermanence. So the idea that we would escape to somewhere, sunny meadow of enlightenment in which we're free of samsara is daydreaming as far as I'm concerned. So this going beyond, it's just as Miranda said, really. It's just, can you let go of the effort? Do you have to maintain to keep yourself safe, to keep yourself within the limits which you define as your safety zone? Can you go beyond that? Can you just let go for a while? And on this retreat, can you just let go of thinking that it should be different and thinking of ways it should be different. Can you just let go of that? Can you just be absolutely present to everything that comes up? Are you good enough? Sorry, I'm teasing you. and you know, and that's really difficult. And I'm exactly the same. I'm on the cushion. I'm thinking of how can I get some more juice going in the set? How do you know? I'm the same. I'm not different. But ideally, you know, we can use this week as a week to be present. It would be a useful week. Sorry, I'm laughing because, you know, finally it's all empty, you know. I don't mean that in any cosmic way, you know, at all, but finally it is. We all do a lot of chuttering about this and that. And bottom line, you know, you just keep, there's nothing down there. There's nowhere to stand. Yeah. We make a lot of fuss about finding somewhere to stand. So, thank you everybody, thank you.